These are 5 things that conveyancers and property solicitors do that piss me off as a mortgage broker with 15 years of experience. Pet peeve number 1 is when a solicitor or conveyancer asks for a formal approval without having the contract exchanged yet. And let me draw this out to show you how effing annoying this is. So going to the drawing board, we've got a first home buyer over here, a bloody noob, has no idea about buying a property. This is their bloody first time. They fall in love with a property they found over the weekend, and since we got them a pre-approval, they wanted to exchange on this property. And over here is the solicitor. Look, I've drawn it as a cat, but it's not sort of like, you know, the devil's advocate kind of thing. And they review the contract. But what they do is when the client is about to sign the contract, they cockblock it. They go, wait, you can't sign the contract because you don't have a formal approval from your mortgage broker, and your mortgage broker is not doing the job properly. But what this bloody mofo solicitor doesn't know is I can't produce a formal approval without a signed contract, or at least get a cooling off period so that the valuer can value the property, because the valuer won't value a property without a signed exchange contract, which then I'm able to get the report from the valuation, send it to the bank, and then from the pre-approval turn it to a formal approval so I can show it to this mofo's face that there is unconditional. But because the mofo solicitor won't get the noob first home buyer to sign the contract, I don't have a signed contract to give to the valuer to order the valuation, and I have to explain this over and over again until this noob solicitor gets it. Number 2 pet peeve is a lazy solicitor and conveyancer that only shows up at the last 11th hour of the settlement. Say this is the timeline of the settlement, usually about 6 weeks, which is about 42 days on the contract of sale. So the client finds the property, exchanges, and then this period between like 2 to 3 weeks before the settlement, these solicitor disappear. They're like ghosts. You don't even see them. And 1 week before settlement, the solicitor still hasn't got in contact with the mortgage broker, which is me. And then they have nothing in regards to the shortfall of funds, where to nominate the shortfall of funds, and whether to nominate the funds in the solicitor's account or through PEXA. And it's freaking annoying for me because I have to chase the solicitor on the client's behalf for that information whilst keeping the client calm because they're bloody anxious because they're a bloody noob. Pet peeve number 3, and this happens a lot for off-the-plan purchases, is that the solicitor of the client never informs the mortgage broker that the address of the off-the-plan has changed. And the only time that this solicitor knows that they fucked up is on settlement day, which is the 11th hour, that they realize when they're trying to book PEXA, the address don't match. Which then results in me trying to call the client to call the developer to get the updated address and inform the solicitor this is the new address and therefore PEXA can work, which is not my job. Number 4 pet peeve is an extension of pet peeve number 2, which is lazy solicitors, is they get us, which is the mortgage brokers, to call the bank settlement team for all matters relating to PEXA related inquiries. Now, to go above and beyond, we usually do that for our customers anyway because they're noobs, they're first home buyers, they have no idea what's going on. So if their solicitors don't do the job, we do the job. But just to note, our job stops when we get the loan unconditionally approved. When we have the loan unconditionally approved, we show the solicitor the reference details and they call the bank's solicitor to sort that out. And just to put it out there, we don't have the authority to represent the client legally when we speak to the bank solicitor or the vendor solicitor. We're not supposed to inquire about PEXA inquiries and what is the reference line and all that bullshit stuff that you guys are supposed to do and being paid to do. And my pet peeve number 5, my final pet peeve, is when solicitors and conveyancers have an attitude that they don't give a fuck about the customer's journey. As you know, these first home buyers, this is their first rodeo in terms of buying their first home, okay? So these guys don't give a F because they deal with so many of these guys, it's like a number to them. Like, for example, a classic case that happened this week, we told the solicitor the client has a formal approval, okay? And then settlement is actually booked. And I said to them, can you tell the client and ring them now that settlement's booked so that they can ease down because they want to take your word for it too because you're their solicitor. And it's like on Thursday, they're like, oh, you know what? Oh, don't worry, I'll call them on Monday. I was like, bitch, call them now. They're in anxiety mode. They're like breaking down. Call them now, please. And they're like, oh, look, I fucking don't have time, man. I call them Mondays. Fucking first home buyer settlement's like fucking like 2 months away. I'm like, bitch, I don't give a shit. You call them now. Now, again, guys, this is not a blast on all solicitors and conveyancers. This is all about the lazy, incompetent solicitors. And this is usually a result of, you have the star solicitor of the practice, and then the star solicitor palms it off to some second layer solicitor, and that second layer solicitor palms off to some toilet cleaner solicitor down there, and then they deal with the client. Now guys, those are my 5 pet peeves, and a lot of you would say, hey Q, that's your job, you're getting paid for this. Bullshit, alright? The client solicitor gets paid upfront at settlement. We get paid 45 days after settlement, and if the client cancels a loan within 12 months, all our commission gets clawed back, and we have to do the solicitor's job. We're happy to do that, but again, that pisses us off. Jump in the comments, let me know what you think.